Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Ultra League, and let's run a different team. So we're going to be starting off with the Annihilape paired with the Shadow Alone Sandslash. This core right here is pretty decent, and obviously we're going to have to use a third Pokemon for our Skeledirge. Here the Risen gets met with the Annihilape. They switch out into the Feraligatr. We're going to shield here. This is kind of a tricky switching to deal with. We did not need to use the Ice Punch in this situation, so we at least get the shield out of this situation. We need to use the Sandslash Annihilape, so we're gonna have to make that adjustment later. We're going to just sack the Annihilape at this point and then use our Sandslash to soak up this damage, as the Feraligatr would be able to just tear through the Skeledirge, at least with the Skeledirge out of the way. The Feraligatr out of the way, and now we're going to have to try to win the game with our Skeledirge. Here we get swapped out again into the Empoleon. The Empoleon is going to throw a super effective Hydro Cannon. We're going to throw a Shadow Ball right here. This Shadow Ball here, I don't think will KO. Yeah, it doesn't KO, but it allows us to farm it down, so that is the key right there. We are going to be able to get to this Disarming Voice to get a shield or get some good damage. Our opponent here is going to have to throw a move. Do they have Stone Edge, and will the Stone Edge KO from this range? No! So it allows us to get to another Disarming Voice. This Disarming Voice will almost take out the Prison, but the one Incinerate does win us the game right there. So GG to our opponents, on to the next game. Alright, back again with the new moveset on the Annihilape. We did get the Night Slash onto the Annihilape for a little bit more spamminess, and let's see if we can win some games with this team now. So here we got the Skeledirge to start off. The Skeledirge here is going to throw a move first. We have to overfarm a little bit because technically the Shadow Ball doesn't get reached when they get to their first move. So we now are be able to threaten a shield. So one shield goes down. We do get the second shield, which is fantastic. Here we know this is going to be another Disarming Voice. We're just going to let it go at this point because we want to save that shield. And now we have our own Skeledirge to try to... Oh, nice catch by my opponent, but they catch it onto the Feraligatr. So this is going to get some good and neutral damage. And then we're going to try to catch a move on our own. This Hydro Cannon here will get some good neutral damage. We're trying our best to get to another move here. Okay, they are going to be able to get this Hydro Cannon off. And we decided just to let it go because we want to win the game possibly with the Skeledirge. So right here, we're going to have to throw up the shield. Let's see if we're going to... okay, they are going to CAP tie us. So this Disarming Voice does end up barely doesn't KO, but we wanted the extra far, but they realized that they switch out immediately. And you can see right here, they win the CAP tie. So it ended up being a game of cat and mouse a little bit. They were able to double shield and then catch our move, and then able to CAP tie us with their own Skeledirge. So GG's to our opponent. On to the next game. We have kind of a interesting team here where the Annihilape and Skeledirge are pretty decent core, and then the Sandslash is, surprisingly enough, kind of our safe swap. Here we have the Annihilape versus the Giratina. This Giratina here is running the Dragon Breath version, so taking a lot of fast moves here. We're going to have to threaten a shield, so we do throw the Night Slash bait, but they don't shield at all, so nice call by them. We're going to switch out into the Sandslash, trying to catch a Dragon Claw. No, we have to tank a neutral Ancient Power, which is fine, but we get them to force out their Tapu Fini. The Tapu Fini here is applying a lot of fast move pressure, but we are able to throw 2 Drill Runs to get a shield. And then the Shadow Claws from the Sandslash are adding up. Here, we're going to shield once here so that we can threaten another shield. We want either shields down or to get back to switch. Our opponent here ends up letting it go, so we do maintain alignment. If they come back in with their Giratina, it's going to be tough. But we are able to get this Ice Punch off. Not effective, but it chips away at the health of the Feraligatr. We know that we had a move on our Annihilape. We throw the Night Slash. They are forced to use that last shield. And now our opponent is using some energy to take out the Annihilape. Now we have to win the game with this Skeledirge right here. Our opponent is building up a ton of energy. We have to shield here no matter what. We know that we are at a move, so we want to make sure we throw this move immediately. Will this disarming voice take out this Brawler? Yes, it will. And now it's a race. Can we get to this Shadow Ball before this Giratina gets to the move? The answer is yes, and we do take out the Giratina by committee. So GG's to our opponent, able to wiggle out of that tricky backline right there. That Brawler is a problem, kind of as a switch for our backline, but able to use the Skeledirge to perfection. Next game, let's see what we find. Got the Annihilape this time versus, let's see, the Giratina again. Let's see what fast move they're running. They're also running the Dragon Breath, so same situation for us. We're going to build up and throw this Sandslash here. Let's see if they decide to shield or not. Okay, this time we do get the shield. We do get the boost, which is tempting. Okay, they throw the Dragon Claw. So here we're actually going to try to catch a move and reset our debuff, reset our buff. Surprisingly enough, because we're going to use our Sandslash to see what they have in the back, and they end up switching into their Cresselia. Cresselia here is not really a counter to this Sandslash, so this is really good sign for us. We know that this Cresselia is going to struggle to beat this Shadow Claw Sandslash. In fact, they are basically clearing the way for our Annihilape because the Annihilape doesn't want to see this Cresselia. So the fact that this is our best answer either tells us this Sandslash is going to be good for the rest of the game, or the Annihilape is going to be really good. But we decided to let it go. They actually switched back out into their Giratina. So they are switched locked at this point, but we're going to decide to go into our Annihilape and just force the issue. We're going to throw this Shadow Ball right here to either get the last shield or get the KO. We get the last shield. We know that this is a Dragon Breath version, so it's not doing as bad as a Shadow Claw Giratina versus our Skeledirge. So we're going to put everything on the line with our Skeledirge here. One Shadow Ball potentially goes through. Yep, goes through, takes out the Giratina. We know the Cresselia is really low, and let's see what they bring back in. Okay, so it ends up being the Articuno. Articuno here is going to struggle to beat the Skeledirge, and they try to catch the move, but we did not need to throw, so we recognize that situation, throw another Shadow Ball, and get this so low that all we have to do at this point is to counter down with the Annihilape. So GG's to our opponent. Ended up winning that game basically because Sandslash was a core breaker for pretty much their entire team. So luckily enough, the switch out after getting the boost from the Annihilape was the right play. Next game, let's see what we find. We got the Guzzlord versus the Annihilape. Pretty decent matchup for us here. We are going to stay in doing super effective fast moves. However, all of our charge moves are not going to be that effective, but we try to get them to shield here, but they don't fall for it. Our opponent here ends up throwing a brutal swing. We're going to shield the first one, and then we're going to try our best to farm down. So one shield farm down is just as good. They switch out into the, Togekiss. We have the Sandslash for that and their Ampharos. So we kind of have another core breaker for them. We throw the Drill Run. They do invest the shield. We're going to let this first one go. Ends up being the Thunder Punch. We are able to survive that. And then we're going to make sure we throw... Oh, bad timing right there. We should have been able to throw that Drill Run, but we actually just let it go. But we still are okay because we know the Annihilape can at least fight back against this Ampharos, and we have the Skeledirge for this Togekiss. So here we are doing some good neutral damage. They are throwing resisted charms. One Ancient Power goes through, trying to avoid the buff, and we do avoid the boost. So now all we have to do is just get to 2 Disarming Voices. One Disarming Voice goes through, gets shielded, and now we're going to be able to get to another charge move. This Shadow Ball should be enough to take out this Togekiss, and yes, that is GG. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.